Well, good afternoon, tubers. I'm tinkering with the pickup here, and I wanted to look at the HVAC system since I'm kind of waiting on parts and I don't have anything else to do. I figured I'd take a look at the dash and see what's going on. So I figured I'd bring you guys along and show you what I found. First of all, I figured out where all this foam stuff is coming from. This is coming from the blend door that divides the floor and vent function. So that all the foam on that door has come off, but the door is physically there and it blocks off for the most part. So I'm probably not going to worry about dealing with that because we got to pull the whole dash out to get to all that. Unless we can somehow pull this ductwork out and actually get in there and just glue on a piece of foam on there, that would be the easiest fix. But I don't know if we can do that. We could probably try. I just don't want to get into taking the whole dash apart, especially because this stuff's all fragile. But I do see some things that are kind of funky. So first of all, I noticed that this thing was always stuck on heat. And I can hear when I move that hot and cold lever, the temperature lever back and forth, I hear no change in the dash. Usually you get kind of a ka-thunk or ka-thunk, and that would be, you know, your blend door for your heater opening and closing. On these trucks, from my experience, usually the blend doors are pretty solid. I think we had one, it was the crew cab, which, if you guys are wondering, that's got sold years ago and we never made a video on it. But that had problems going between defrost and whatnot. It actually would stay stuck on the vent function. I was wondering, it's probably that vacuum motor there crapped out, but we never got around to that. But on this truck, I just, you know, fired it up for the first time for the week and got it running, let it warm up and stuff. But I was running the functions back and forth and I can see that vacuum motor, and then there's another one way up there, you can just barely see it. That one runs the defrost. So that will blend floor and mix for the defrost, and then when you go all the way to defrost, it shuts all the way down. And then this one here also does some of the blending of between vent and floor. So they all kind of work together. But the door is there and it is working. I saw it physically move. Let's see if I have enough vacuum left. I might have to start the truck up. Let's see, we're gonna go to vent. Yeah, see that? And then we went from vent to floor. And then when you go to defrost, this other guy pulls down all the way, and then that vacuum motor just leaves this door open. And then, you know, I opened this up, and this is what I found. So it looks like it has a brand spanking new heater core in it. Look at that thing. It's brand new. It does look like it has some corrosion on it, so we'll probably go through and maybe add some more grounds on this truck, just so that we can you know, avoid that electrolysis stuff. So let's see if I can get my barnacle of flashlight in here and you in here at the same time. And my arm. So right here, that's your lever for the blend door. Now, you can just barely see it, but if I push it, this is open, and then if I pull on it, which should be, okay, hang on, this is not working how I want it to. Okay, there. And be careful, this is hot if you've already been running your vehicle. So full heat, when you pull on that, it closes off the airflow from that side, and then it pushes it through the heater core and then into the rest of the HVAC system. And then you close that, or push it, this is all the way cool. It blocks off airflow to the heater core, and then it blows that way. But it still can pull from this side. It can pull, you know, a little bit of heat will leak past. Anyway, so this HVAC looks okay. I don't think we'll need to mess with it a whole lot. I am gonna see if I can find some tape, foam tape to put on here. I'm gonna do this up and then call that a day, and we'll slam it back together. So that's really nice. We won't have to mess around with pulling the dash apart or taking it out all the way. What I would like to do is get this top off and see what we got going on inside. All right, so we're burning daylight. I gotta go to the hardware store and get some foam tape for that. And then I need to also pick up some booze while I'm there, because it's Sunday and I'm working on my truck and it's booze 30. I just ordered the brake booster for this, so I think we're gonna get in there and actually replace the brake booster, or at least get it out, because I want to give them the core. I don't want to monkey around with that. Another brain fart I just had. I think I have a new hinge for this. This one's a little special, and not really a big fan of that. So if I got it in my hoard box there, we'll replace it. If not, oh well, I'll probably just, I don't know, leave it. But yeah. Oh, now that I look at it, someone mentioned, oh, look at your thing and I'll tell you if it's an AOD or not. And it's got the double D thing on there, which is nice, because I plan on doing some hauling with this, and we need to be able to keep overdrive off. Another brain fart I just had, I bought, and somebody mentioned this after I had bought it. Let's see, what did I do with it? Oh, it's right here. I bought Quick Glow and some wheel cleaner. This is probably okay, but this, man, I put that on a fine wool, and it was really cleaning up these wheels. So yeah, I'm kind of happy with how they're starting to turn out. We need to actually get these off and just get them in the garage, and I'm gonna get a speedball kit or something and just go to town with it, get it polished up, and then yeah, I want these wheels to look basically brand new. And then all the chrome bumpers and stuff, we'll probably polish those up too. And when it's nicer out, we'll buff out the truck. I'm gonna leave the paint and defects and everything just as it is, but I'm gonna buff it out. We're gonna polish this little turd. Look at the hood. See, this is what my truck looked like. And then I used Meguiar's Color Restore on this truck with a little crappy AutoZone buffer. And this hasn't been buffed in a while, but you see my hood's kind of worse for wear, but you know, the texture of that paint used to be like this, faded, rough. But anyways, I gotta run to the store and get a couple things. We're gonna make some drinks, and we're gonna work on our pickup truck and scratch the paint. No, I'm just kidding. So that's probably not gonna stay there, but yesterday I was kind of on a roll, and I pulled the brake booster out, and I didn't record because one too many drinks later and the old booster's out, basically is what happened. So I have the new one, or the remanufactured one, all fresh and ready to go. But basically I just need to bolt it back in. If I remember correctly, this one fought me a little bit coming out, but obviously I got it out. So that was $80 some at O'Reilly's. Apparently I can't talk. And yeah, I think that was a Cardone unit. That's what I have in my other truck over there. That's what I wanted to run. And then, just for giggles, I bought air shocks for the rear of this truck. I've used these before on another truck. Actually one basically just like this. The same style, just this one's a different color. That's the only difference. But these worked pretty good. And so I bought a set. You get a pair for, they're like $80 or something like that. This is, maybe we can Take this cap off here and extend it. Get rid of some of this. Let's see, in there, like, failure to replace a leaking master cylinder will void your warranty on your booster. This has a newer, or a new-ish master, and it wasn't leaking. It wasn't wet when I took it apart, so I'm going to call it good. What I am contemplating on doing is painting this, but because it's cold and I really don't feel like turning the heater on, I might just throw this in and leave it as is. You know, after a year, it'll look just like the same color as the truck, so a little bit of rust and you're good to go. I think we can just put this thing right in there. And then I'll have to go inside and, you know, bolt everything up and hook stuff up. And then you wonder, how did you do this when you were drunk, Jimmy?
Because there's all things, with alcohol, all things are possible.
Yeah. No go. There you go. Hey, look at that. Nice and shiny. Yeah, I was really on a roll. I had music going and drinks and just taking stuff apart, and then now it's like, oh, what did I do? Okay. We're practically almost done. This is so easy. It looks like, based on this witness spark, I think maybe this goes there. Possibly. Or maybe even there like that. Let's see, can we... Get on there. We'll go like that. The last time I adjusted one of these, what I had done was I just got, you know, I turned this out a little bit, just enough so that it would just barely push on the piston in here. And I just crank her down. This guy. You little bastard. You know, we've got a lot of hoser. Check this out. This is what we're going to do. So I'm just going to go right like that. And we got a fresh end. I'm surprised that one's still good. So I get on there. Okay. Grab that. Let that go, and time. We're done. This is garbage. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab the keys, fire this up, and we'll see how she runs. I got good power brakes. So that's nice. I plugged the buzzer back in that people hate so much, so it's working. So I'm happy with that. That's running really good now. Wow. We got our Sunsong power steering hose. Probably made in the same place as the AutoZone one that I was gonna get, but I got this in a day. We got a new line here. The fittings are the same size as what's on here now, which is great. So we only need 2 tools. We need a 5/8 and a half. But the first thing we need to do is, this kind of needed a power steering fluid change anyways. I mean, not that it had any in it when I got it, but we'll just stick that down in there. That's not too bad. I mean, it was mostly empty, so. Having one of these vacuum extractors is so handy. Oh, whatever's in there stinks. I might go over to Napa and get a new cap. This thing is all. It bugs me. This really bugs me. It looks warped. It doesn't fit. It's really getting to me here. I don't have a line wrench, so we're gonna see if we get lucky, and I think we got lucky. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. We're starting to slip. This is why we want to use a line wrench for this, but there we go. Yep, just drop it right in your bin after you scrape your arm up against the truck. Touch that and then lubricate the seal. This is what I always hated, just trying to get these fittings to, you know, thread in. Or you think you got it and it clicks and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna kill it. Okay, we got it. Just have to find that right angle. And when she goes in, she goes in. This hose feels, or it's a little off, but you know, it fits. You just gotta twist it slightly. Click. Alright, we're gonna fill her till she gets kind of full, and then we'll fire it up, and then we'll just top it off, bleed it out. I'm just gonna fill it till I see fluid come up to the almost to the top of the reservoir, which I have now, so it's gonna suck a lot of it down. her off, and we'll throw some brake cleaner on the outside and clean up all that oil. Yeah, it's good. It's probably a little too much, but you just grab the extractor. Yeah, let's go get some more jugs of this. This is gonna need a transmission fluid change anyway, so we'll be buying some stuff from the parts store again. Oh yeah, look at that smell of power strength fluid. I can't buy enough of these. I need to buy just tons of these. And yeah, I'll pick up a new cap for this later, but right now it's just seated in there pretty good, but it's still, yeah, I take that back. All right, tubes, that's it for that part. I'll come back here in a moment. We'll get into the truck and we'll take a look at putting these air shocks in. That'll be fun. All right. Oh. I need a little bit of work fixing up that HVAC thing. It's nice having that working now. I gotta go to the junkyard tomorrow, so we'll probably do a video, but I have to get speed clips for the dash there so I can put that back on. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned it, but I had another one of these hinges. This one's a little bit nicer than the other one, so I just swapped that in, and now it's got a nicer hinge. We're gonna back the old gal in, and we'll work on the carpet in there, get some lights set up, and we'll swap out these shocks. Oh my God, the spare tire's gots to go. I'm gonna redo some of the wiring under here. Maybe in this video we'll try and get this thing out of here. What do we got for shocks? Well, shockingly, we have some cheapo Gabriel Guardians. They're the red ones. They're about 20 bucks each from AutoZone or even like Summit Racing. I gotta get some tools. I think we're like a 19 up there. And let's see, what are we right here? I don't know what we are right here. I'm gonna get some tools together, and yeah. This mamma jam is gonna need some e-brake cables. It doesn't really bounce, but it's pretty soft. It rides really good, which is great, but you know, I want it to ride just a little firmer. I like my trucks riding a little firm. Good ride, but firm. I'm hoping I can get in here with my big gun and rattle this off. Noise. Oh man. almost thinking I might. No, we gotta go this way. That went on very nicely. And compress it. And then we get her in the slot. Alright, we got one shock there. We got one right there. Everything's all torqued down. So now let's look at our old shocks and then let's see what we had here. This is what was on it. Look, they're skinny. Big Husky, gas charged. These look like probably 90s vintage. This bushing was getting worn out. That's not too bad. I've had worse. But they're still really good. I can barely compress it by myself. So they're still good. This can go in the Horde. Got brakes for shocks for this truck. I got town car shocks. We got all kinds of stuff. All right. Let's see if I can kind of show you what I did. I didn't really permanently strap any of the lines down. You can't even see them. But basically what I did is I got one shock connected over there, runs over the heat shield, and then comes back this way, and then tees off, goes to that shock, and then we have our Schrader valve right here, and I just used the hole that was already there. This is temporary because, like I said, I have a compressor that we're gonna hook up and mount in here somewhere, and that line will then be hooked up to the compressor. So yeah, that's kind of like that. I think I'll fire up my air compressor back there and get her aired up, and we'll put I don't know, maybe just try like 20 psi or something. Sitting on the back with no pressure in the shocks. We're 32 3/4. Maybe we'll just leave it like that. Okay, I got probably 40 psi of air in the tank. Got 30 psi in there. So we went from 32 3/4 to, actually I don't even remember what we were at. '61 psi. So we'll leave it like that, and we'll see how it holds. I lubed all the O-rings and everything up before putting them together, so they shouldn't leak. And they're small connections, so it'll take a long time for them to leak out. There she goes. So I got 62 psi in there right now. Went from 32.5 to sitting 33. About 60 psi puts her at 33 inches in the back. Alright, tubes, with just a little bit of elbow grease, this Junkyard truck is in pretty good shape, man. She rips. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a few things I still want to do to it. New mirrors, and I gotta finish with the dash. The engine, I don't really have to touch anything else on the engine, well, other than, you know, figuring out this dipstick. But we're not leaking, you know, oil anymore out of the valve covers. Our power steering pump, so far, is not leaking. I might need to tighten that fitting down there a little bit. But look, it's bone dry. So, saved me a few bucks there. Doesn't seem to. It's winter time, so it really doesn't matter not having the fan shroud, but we do need to find one for it. New brake booster, working great. Got good brakes, and it's running a lot better with that in there. Yeah, I really should paint that, but I don't feel like doing it. So, yeah, and then yeah, I'm pretty happy with this thing. It's just a good runner. Got a little bit of cleanup to do. Yeah, just a little bit of work here. This is all working, but I gotta get a different line for that. That's not the appropriate stuff. It's just gonna heat up and melt and freaking collapse. As far as, you know, upgrades, I do want to do some upgrades to this. I want to get the air conditioning working, but before I do that, I'm thinking what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably get the whole accessory drive off a Aero nose or an OBS 302, and we're going to convert the whole thing over to serpentine belt, and probably, if we can, do the Saginaw power steering pump upgrade. But I got to order front shocks for this. Front ones are kind of they're doing their job, but the bushings are getting blown out, and I want to get a better set in there. The rear air shocks, let's see, I had these pumped at 20 something. Yeah, and they're still tight. It rides really good with those. And they're broken in now, so they're it rides really good. Handles pretty good for what it is. Yeah. So, you know, a few things here and there. Little updates, probably, you know, clean all this up, and what I'd really like to do is pressure wash this thing. Oh wow, look, it's still got the jack. I wonder if it even works. I want to clean all that crap out. Yeah, so... Oh, and I have... Well, probably have to get a different pulley for it. But I've got a FS10 AC compressor. And then I've got that 3G. I need to have it tested to make sure it's good. It was the Explorer that was in, the lights were flickering. So I need to have the alternator tested, and if it's bad, then we'll just get a different alternator. But I have that because I think it'll be a 3-pad on the 302, at least a, you know, 94 and up. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. Later this engine will get an accessory drive upgrade, newer compressor, and then, you know, we're gonna put new hoses in to accommodate the new compressor. And then, well, we need to get a hold down for this. And I was thinking about doing a dual battery setup in this, but, you know, it's not necessary. It's nice to have, but might just leave it like this. Let's see. So yeah, shocks. I think we're gonna do pivot bushings, pivot bushings on the I-beams. I don't think I'm going to convert this to 4-wheel drive. I think we'll probably leave her alone. If anything, I would just like to make it mechanically sound, and make it a cool little junkyard truck. Yeah. I gotta find I got the covers, the center caps, somewhere for that. I'm gonna put those on, and I bought some stuff to polish the wheels up. I just need to get a kit. and we'll try and really buff those out. Somebody was in a hurry. Yeah. Transmission service, we're gonna do that coming up. Want to get that thing, the fluid dumped out of it, put a new filter in, and put some fresh fluid in. The rear differential, I want to change the oil on it, but somewhere in a box, I think it's that one. There's an 8.8 limited slip in there, and it needs a different set of spider gears to accommodate 31 spline axles. So I'm gonna get a kit for that, and maybe we'll try and replace that stuff ourselves, and then slap a limited slip in here, and maybe step it up to like 410s or something. But you know what, with the 355s it has right now, this thing just lights the tires up like nobody's business. So yeah, with that, we are DONE for this video. Catch you guys later.